It looks to be the beginning of a lovely day, Holmes. There's nothing like beginning the week with a sunny Monday, with nothing more pressing to do than to see what came in the post. Would you care to take a ride up the Thames today?
I think not, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, your mood has been getting progressively worse for the past 2 weeks. I know you, and I am certain that something is bothering you. It wouldn't be bad news from Switzerland, would it?
We would already be on a boat heading towards the continent were that the case, my dear Watson.
Very well, then, what is it? Let me guess. For the past 2 weeks, the papers have talked of nothing other than this French thief, Arsène Lupin. He's been making all of the police officers on the continent look like complete idiots. You're taking an obvious pleasure out of reading these articles.
My dear Watson.
I've put my finger on it, haven't I? I know you well. Something tells me that you will not entertain talk of this Lupin for some time. Do you recall his latest feat? Using an alias, he seduced a young Italian princess in order to rob her of a priceless set of diamond jewellery that once belonged to the Medici. These jewels were to be part of the lady's dowry on the occasion of her marriage to the son of a wealthy, influential Sicilian. Finally, our friend, having committed his crime, left word for the local press explaining that there was no other way for the charming lass to escape a marriage of convenience with, I quote, an uncultivated and uncouth boor without the least refinement. Since then, the lady has been confined to a convent, and rumour has it that the two outraged fathers have jointly offered a sum of countless millions of liras for the head, the rest of the body being optional, of the man who is responsible for their dishonour. Are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? Why, another letter from the zoo about those missing birds, as if we were going to be running around the whole of London chasing chickens. As I was saying, are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? This Arsène Lupin must be in hiding somewhere, surrounded by bottles of champagne and stolen treasures. How foolhardy and arrogant. Oh, these French. However, he didn't pursue this foolishness to the point of risking stepping onto British soil.
Has the cat got your tongue, Watson? What? Whatever is the matter with you, Watson? Pray tell.
This letter on the table. Holmes, read it. Holmes, this is truly unbelievable. Surely this cannot be taken seriously.
It's possible, Watson, that this letter is nothing but a prank. However, a small chance exists that both the challenge and the threat are real.
What will you do?
First, I'm going to enjoy the breakfast Mrs. Hudson has prepared. If you would be so good, Watson, as to clarify some of the riddles in the letter. Firstly, if Arsène Lupin is actually the author, as he states, why does he sign with another name? When it comes to the poem, even if an answer seems straightforward, we must be quite certain. What would the target of tonight's theft be if this letter turns out to be accurate? We have 1 day to find the solution and to take preventative measures. You could go see Barnes, the bookstore in Glentworth Street. Surely they'll have something that will be informative.
Holmes's violin. Holmes's Table for Experiments. A motley collection.
I am not ready yet, Watson.
The Reichenbach Falls. What an awful memory. It's the steel harpoon that pierced Black Peter, master of the sea unicorn. Terrible memories. No, I have nothing to ask him. No, I have nothing to ask him.
Sir?
Poor Barnes should hire a cleaning lady. Oh, what a mess.
Gnithruth, Cudwilm, Lizrit, Sublilha.
Good day, Barnes.
Hello, Dr. Watson. How are you? I didn't hear you enter.
Are you busy? Am I disturbing you?
Not at all. I was researching, but if you came to see me, it must be that you're looking for something specific. Perhaps I can help you?
A very strange affair, bewildering even, has brought me to see you. An affair involving a Spanish cape and a one-eyed, one-armed man.
Most certainly. You will find the works dealing with naval history on one of the shelves somewhere.
Thank you. I'll go look. Ah, here's my book, The Great English Sailors. As it happens, I found this book and...
Excuse me, my dear Dr. Watson, but I am in need of tranquility.
Well, farewell, Barnes. No, I have nothing to do in this hovel.
Now tell me, Watson, what progress have you made? Have you found the meaning of the mysterious signature?
It's an anagram, Holmes. The letters in Arsino Lotino can be used to spell out Horatio Nelson.
That's a welcome confirmation. No doubt the target of the theft is somehow connected with the Battle of Trafalgar, won by Admiral Lord Nelson at the expense of the French. Nelson, who lost an eye and an arm in battle, has a statue high atop a column in Trafalgar Square. It says that the object of the theft is sitting at his master's feet. There's nothing to steal on this column. We have a map of London here somewhere. Let's see if we can find a site of interest near Trafalgar Square.
Ha! I found it at last. The map of London.
So, according to you, what is there to steal in Trafalgar Square? Show me on the map, Watson.
The only location visible is the National Gallery of Painting, which faces the column.
Why not? Our man wants to steal a painting, but which one? Watson, shall we head out? Let's take a tour of the National Gallery. While you find us a hansom, I'll send a message to Lestrade to have him join us.
Ah, Lamb, good timing. Can you give myself and my friend Sherlock a lift?
With pleasure, Dr. Watson. The mistress, Miss Bromsby, gave me the day off. I'll wait for you.
Fragile? The museum transports china?
Art is precious, my dear Watson, but it's true that this crate is a curious size. I'd say 3 feet 3 inches on 2 sides by 6 foot 6.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome to the National Gallery of Painting. As it's such a lovely day outside, you're the only visitors at the moment, and likely will be for the whole day, as the minimum number of people for a guided tour is...
We're not here to visit the museum, young man. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Sherlock Holmes, the famous detective?
Indeed, I have reason to believe that a theft is being planned that will take place here, perhaps as early as today.
A robbery?
I'm not certain, but there is a good reason to believe that is the case. We have contacted Inspector Lestrade at Scotland Yard, and he should be joining us momentarily. Meanwhile, rest assured that we are here in an official capacity. In the meantime, you can certainly help us. One of the paintings will play a part in the matter, but I don't yet know exactly which one. I do, however, have a few clues that should tell something to a specialist like yourself.
Ah, yes, of course. As it happens, I've only been working here for 3 days. Actually, I'm an apprentice, and my duties here are essentially administrative.
Pray tell, would I be correct in deducing that the elder of the 2 men that we can see up there is the director of the museum?
Yes, that is Sir Pointer. He could certainly assist you better than I, but at the moment he's terribly occupied and will be for some time.
But the location that you are proposing is unworthy of my work. All of my pieces are hymns to color and light. It's the very stars, the sun that you want to extinguish.
Please understand, dear sir, the entrance hall is reserved for temporary exhibitions. We are able to add more lighting.
In that case, you would have to provide lanterns across the whole length of the ceiling, and to use the most refined oil possible. Definitely not gas. And mirrors to reflect the light, along with some canvases in basic colors to bring out the contrasts.
We will do all that we possibly can.
Nevertheless, I insist that a number of my works must be on the main floor next to the large pieces.
But our rooms are already full and, as you know, each has its specific subject. Too much modernism?
How can there be too much modernism? Modernism doesn't exist. Only art exists. Art is timeless. Art is cosmic.
Well, sir, perhaps we should continue this conversation in my office.
Then you must certainly have a ledger of the works that are shown in the museum, with a description of each painting.
Yes, Sir Pointer entrusted it to my care this morning so I could familiarize myself with the collection, but I lost it. I know I make a rather feeble archivist, but while I was doing a tour of the museum, the painting that Mr. Pointer is now dealing with arrived, along with cases full of canvases that he had to quickly inventory.
The case of the missing ledger. What do you make of it, Watson? Listen, Mr.
Palinor, sir.
Palinor, my friend and I will make our way through the museum in order to find the ledger. If you lost it while touring the museum and it wasn't back on the desk, then it must be in one of the galleries. Stay here and we will return to see you when we have found it, and not a word of it to the director.
Certainly, sir. With many thanks. I will continue to do my inventory and await you.
Tell me, young man, would you happen to have a blueprint of the building in order to facilitate the task at hand?
Ah, yes. Where did I put it? Oh, yes, here it is.
Farewell, Palinor.
What a mess!
The Supper at Emmaus, where the resurrected Jesus appears to his disciples, painted by Caravaggio, 1571-1610. He was a master of chiaroscuro, and the Caravaggism movement was named after him. The Assassination of St. Peter Martyr, painted around 1507 by Giovanni Bellini, a forerunner of the Venetian school. St. Catherine of Alexandria, by Antonio de Salario in 1514, originally part of a triptych. Ah, Venice, La Serenissima. This one from 1740 by Canaletto. The Gallery of Italian Works. St. Catherine of Alexandria by Raphael, painted around 1507, one of the greatest Italian painters and architects of the High Renaissance. Painting by Lorenzo Lotto, born around 1480, died in 1556 or 7, has a very idiosyncratic style. The Gallery of Italian Works. Adoration of the Kings by Botticelli, bought by the National Gallery in 1878. Must you see it to believe? The Incredulity of St. Thomas, master of the work, Battista Giovanni Cima, born around 1459. St. Catherine of Alexandria, painted by Carlo Crivelli, bought as part of the Prince Anatole Demidov collection in 1868. The Origin of the Milky Way, painted around 1575 and bought in 1890 by the National Gallery, executed by Jacopo Robusti, known as Tintoretto, which comes from tintore, as his father was a dyer. At least his business was merely dyeing and not death. A painting by Veronese, the family of Darius before Alexander. Canvas by Orazio Gentileschi, 1563-1639, Baroque painter influenced by Caravaggio. His daughter Artemisia became a painter in her own right. Portrait of a Young Man in Red by Domenico Ghirlandaio. This painting was executed between 1480 and 90 and is on loan. A study by Tiepolo. The Trojans bring the Greek horse into their city, causing their own ruin. Thus it's best to beware of certain gifts. The Virgin of the Rocks, famous canvas painted between 1491 and 1508 by Leonardo da Vinci. Multidisciplinary man, artist, scientist, inventor, and humanist philosopher. He transformed art into the complex style of the High Renaissance. His scientific and artistic method proceeded from a preliminary accumulation of detailed observations, of knowledge dispersed here and there, all with perfection as the objective.
You speak of yourself, Holmes?
This painting depicts the gods Venus and Mars by Botticelli. This painting was exhibited for the first time in 1874 in the National Gallery. Peasants at Archery, David Teniers the Younger, 1610-1690. Baroque, I would say. Peace and War, Rubens, the Old Master, painting probably executed in 1629 or 30, illustrating the hopes for peace between England and Spain, the painter's mission at the time. Rubens was, in effect, also a diplomat. Rubens, The Judgment of Paris. What a dilemma. Paris had to choose between one of the three divinities, Venus, Juno, or Minerva, and anger the other two in the process.
There was nothing to it but choose all three.
A work by David Teniers, the Younger. A work by David Teniers, the Younger. The Flemish artists are found here. The Balby Children by Van Dyck, 1599 to 1641. Lady Elizabeth Thimbleby and Viscountess Andover by Van Dyck. Van Dyck in person. This artist had a huge influence on English portraitists. He is considered to be the creator of the English school of painting.